A man says that we're going through an Anunnaki war, and he explains how strange booms and lights have been reported across the sky, and the great hurricane of 2025 is yet to come. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to some of the more mysterious and smelly clips that I could find on TikTok. Let's get into it.
This has to be the worst thing that could ever happen to you. Imagine you are perfectly healthy and functional, but you think you are dead and missing parts of your body and go completely insane. This is known as Cotard syndrome, which is an extremely rare disorder, but it is genuinely terrifying. So this is a very strange and rare neuropsychiatric disorder where the person genuinely thinks they are dead. They may think that they are a spirit wandering around, or they have no soul, or they have no organs in them. They may try to do crazy things. It's believed to often be caused by people with extremely severe depression. It is so rare that doctors and psychiatrists still don't really understand the origin of it or what to really do about it. It is such a strange thing that's obviously happening completely in the mind that still to this day people aren't really sure what we can do with it. However, on the flip side, luckily, just as quickly as people can develop it, they can get rid of it very instaantly. Kind of like some of you may have had depersonalization before, where nothing feels real, but then you can kind of just snap out of it. Well, this can happen with this as well, even though this is a lot more severe.
I could only imagine imagining to be dead, especially when I used to live with my grandfather. They call this Cotard syndrome, but my grandfather would have called it something very differently. If he would have seen me demonstrating it, it would have definitely ended with the "ard" part, but not Cotard. I have met someone with severe schizophrenia and they thought that aliens were going to put him inside a chicken. Very serious, like afraid for his life, trying to hide underground because of it. I guess it could be the same thing. Let me know what you guys think about all this.
Y'all ever seen that photo of that lady who tried to delete herself from existence in the hospital and there's a demon standing on top of her? This is the photo in question. Now, the lady in the bed, she wasn't there the next day. But the CCTV footage from the hospital captured this because she was on 24-hour watch, you know. And man, this thing is creepy. It looks like it's got two toes. It's covered in like fur and it's just crouched over top of her, looking at the people that are sitting in the hospital room with her. Now, I know a lot of religions believe that when you do that, when you delete yourself from reality, you go to a certain place. And in the Catholic religion, you actually go to purgatory. But this kind of brings into question, like, is this what caused her to feel like this? Or is this thing taking her to where she's going in the afterlife? What do y'all think about it?
It's always a blurry photo of a video from the hospital, but it really looked kind of genuine. It's hard to tell. It looked like a satyr on top of the bed.
Forgotten Plague. You guys remember that? Of course you do. This is a sickness that has mysteriously shown up and mysteriously left, and no one knows what the cause of it was and what happened and why it happened. In 1916 from 1930, over those years, millions of people all around the world were mysteriously passing out, falling asleep, falling into comas. Some of these people, comas for years. The illness literally started with sore throats, tiny headaches, all these things. People would be eating at home, chewing their food, and then would just pass out. And they had no idea what caused it. And so they called the sleeping plague, forgotten plague, obviously. Now, there was no correlations to what people were eating, where people were at. So there was a lot of like conspiracy behind biological warfare, but a lot of it happened in the UK, but it happened all over the world. I think over 100,000 people died. But in 1930, it just stopped and it just never happened again. They don't know what caused it. They don't know why it went away. Nothing happened. There's no logical reason. So when people would wake up, some of the people that would actually wake up that wouldn't pass away, they'd wake up with neurological disorders, Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Some people literally had different personalities and different accents.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then it just disappeared one day. And we've just, I mean, I don't remember ever learning about this.
What if time travel exists and they're testing vaccines in the past?
There actually is a tiny conspiracy within that of time travelers.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so interesting.
I mean, it's just scary to think that we would just have no reason for it. We would never be able to understand it. And then we're just like, okay, move on.
I did look this up because I wanted to confirm, and yeah, this is true. They may have exaggerated it. It didn't just disappear in 1930. It disappeared in the 1930s. But overall, the studies did not come to any kind of conclusion. That's kind of scary because that could be floating around out there somewhere still. It could have also been some kind of form of biological attack. This is a really interesting one. Let me know what you guys think it was in the comments. Hey, if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying the show, give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I upload a video like this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 9 a.m. And on Wednesdays and Sundays, I upload a reactionless compilation at the same time so that you guys can get the most recent videos that are online. And with that, I want to say thank you guys so much for supporting the channel.
If they said that our generation is cooked, just listen to what's going on with Gen Alpha. A group of girls in grade 5 were arrested for plotting the murder of a fellow student and then framing it as suicide. And their motive, you may ask? Well, apparently, that fellow student cheated on one of the girls that he used to date. And so they thought, the appropriate response is murder. Bro, their generation's version of Mean Girls is Murder Girls. Now, this happened at a school in Arizona, and for a group of 10 and 11-year-old girls, bro, they were plotting. According to a police report, they wanted to lure the boy into an outside toilet where they would then proceed to stab him in the stomach. It says that they went as far as thinking about wearing gloves so that they wouldn't leave any fingerprints. Each of them had their own little roles, like one of them was a guard lookout, and they even planned on forging a suicide note to make it look like he did it himself. Now, they were only caught when one of their fellow students overheard them having conversations about this, I guess in like the playground or something, after which she told her parents, and then they were arrested by police. Worrying thing though, 3 of them, they were remorseful, they looked apologetic, whereas one of them reportedly was smiling and laughing about the whole situation. Oh, good luck to her future husband. Now, the students were eventually released into the custody of their parents and suspended, pending expulsion. And they said that Gen Alpha was gonna kill it. Who knew that was literal?
Literally almost through this whole video, my jaw was just dropped. That is so crazy. I really hate to sound like, an old guy from the past, but kids might need to stay away from video games, watching certain things on TV. Like that probably needs to happen. That is terrifying. And there's probably something going on in the home or something. That's just wild. I did not expect to hear any of that today.
Max is referring to the Chicago Bulls announcer who was then WGN Radio's top sportscaster. In the background behind him was a cheap piece of corrugated metal that you can get at any hardware store. It was mounted on some kind of spindle that was rotated by someone off camera. Now, holding what looks to be a marital aid, Max yells the new Coke slogan, "Catch the wave." Now, Max Headroom was the spokesperson for a huge Coca-Cola campaign and made this catchphrase instantly famous.
More people are, as we cocologists say, catching the wave. Catch it if you can. Catch the wave. Coke.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
So the guy who's against huge corporations had a brand deal with a huge corporation?
Ah, I see the hypocrisy in that.
The following video was captured around June 19th, 2025 during a White House press conference. And what they captured is something weird going on with a fellow reporter. Take a look and look very closely at her face and then her hands. This is more than just a camera glitch. It's almost as if she is possessed with something other. It's like her whole face shifts into something else. Take a look at this, comment below, tell me what you think.
I mean, maybe she was just preparing her best smile. I didn't really notice anything with the hands personally. If you notice anything, let me know. But I definitely noticed the expression. I really think she was probably just fixing her hair and trying to be casual with somebody. And you know how some people are, they can be really overexpressive. And I think this is a good case of that. Oh, it did look very creepy, I'm not gonna lie. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think this is exactly?
That plane crash in India.
Crazy sad, dude.
But the one survivor, this guy was sitting in seat 11A. Only survivor ends up walking off the plane.
All nonchalant. Literally, the people are just videoing because they're freaking out because there's this huge ball of fire in their neighborhood. And it's just nuts. And people are videoing. And then out of the smoke, just casually walks this guy because he was right by the emergency exit. So as soon as it landed, he just opened it and walked out. Most wild thing in the world, dude.
But apparently there's a story of this Thai celebrity.
There's a Thai actor in 1998. He was on a flight and it went down as well. Ton of people perished. 45 people survived though. But he was also sitting in 11A. The crazy thing is, it not only was he in seat 11A, but when they were interviewing him in the hospital, he was sitting in the bed number 11. And also, it happened on June 11th.
11.
Weird. I can't imagine how that just traumatizes you for the rest of your life. Like the heaviness that you have to carry.
Yeah.
I mean, golly, what a story.
I would never be able to fly on a plane again. You know, a lot of people actually do not like sitting next to the emergency door. This is a very, very lucky person on a very unfortunate day. And yeah, the story is pretty bizarre because he definitely walked himself out of that building because the plane didn't just crash onto the ground. It crashed in a building that was on fire.
Listen, not everything that you've been taught is a lie, but the list of things that are lies, when you find out all the lies that you've been taught your entire life, it's going to blow your freaking mind. And you're going to be pissed off. Every single day now, you hear people say the words, the veil is thinning. The reason why we're seeing these things in the sky, the veil is thinning. Dude, the veil is damn near transparent at this point. You can feel it everywhere. In your day-to-day life, you will run into people that says, what's wrong with the world? Something isn't right. Something's not adding up. The news makes no freaking sense. History doesn't line up. Time feels off. How can everything be right and wrong all at the same time? Up is down, down is up. The Mayans said that the great circle would end, not in fire, but in revelation. And when the Bible talks about the end, it's not in destruction. Well, I mean, eventually. But it also talks about an unveiling, an awakening. Oh, Alan, that's some New Age garbage. That's not in the Bible. It's not New Age garbage. I mean, well, it is a little bit. The word apocalypse comes from the word apocalypsis, which means truth being unveiled or the revealing. And that's where we are right now. That's where we are. The government has basically admitted that UFOs are real. Aliens are real. You can't watch a video on the internet without thinking, that might be AI. Books are being written by AI. Governments are spending trillions of dollars to build underground cities. Billionaires are building bunkers. And children are talking about glitches in the Matrix, Mandela effects, and simulation theory. None of this is random. It's not random. We are standing on the edge of something that feels like it's final, whether it's the end of the lie or the beginning of some kind of new control. But one thing is abundantly clear. Reality is about to show its face for what it truly is. And my question to you is, are you ready for that? Because some parts of me is absolutely not ready for it. Damn it, man. Just kidding. I am ready.
So what's going on with all the weird weather anomalies happening around the world, y'all? And can we call it weather anymore? I feel like it first started with this lightning and thunder duo that started in New York. Did y'all hear about this or even see this? Check this out. Y'all, if that's not a missile being dropped, I don't know what it is. And then people say that noise reverberated for at least 10-15 minutes. People said it literally sounded like the dome was shattering over their heads. Take a look at this video the moment the lightning strikes. Y'all, the way that man looked up for his dear life, it literally sounded like the dome just shattered. Look at him playing with it. Look at this. Look at this. Now, there are also loud booms being heard all over the world. This is in New York, y'all.
What are these loud booms happening in New York City right now? It ain't no fireworks.
Y'all, and the sky is orange, too. It's pulsating orange.
What the fuck?
Bro,
That's not fireworks. You heard about mother? That's not fireworks, bro. That's not fireworks, bro.
And a lot of people are saying there's a war going on in the heavens right now that's literally leaking into our dimension. And I, for one, I gotta agree with this. There's something happening above and it's coming down below, y'all. I don't know what it is yet, but I have a feeling we're all going to get to see this soon. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's get it.
I mean, to me, most of the sounds that I heard in these videos sound like thunder and lightning to me. Even that one clip was literally a lightning bolt striking a tree. And the flashes in the sky, that's just due to the heat. It's just really funny to me that there's just people questioning thunder and lightning as if it's some kind of artillery strike happening. I mean, right now we are in the times to probably worry about that kind of stuff for sure, but you can tell when it's just thunder and lightning. Now, I will say we have been having really aggressive storms, like severe thunder and lightning storms. They've been really bad in my area, and it seems like they are also in these places as well. I'll say that the thunderstorms this year have been pretty aggressive, more aggressive than I've experienced in a while, but I can still tell it's thunder and lightning.
There's a conspiracy theory that claims that we're already dead, and the evidence comes from science. There are two things that are documented to happen when someone clinically dies. The first is that your entire life will flash before your eyes, and the second is that your brain keeps working 7 minutes after your body is gone. And we've literally recorded the brain still firing after death, actively creating memories. So for 7 minutes, we're in this like dreamlike state where we're reliving our entire life. And according to this guy you may have heard of, Albert Einstein, time is relative. But what does that actually mean? This is suggesting that 7 minutes in the real world could feel like 100 years in the dream state. Kind of like when you fall asleep, you dream an entire movie, then wake up 5 minutes later. Now here's where it gets weird. Some people believe that we all died in 2012. That's when the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world. And remember, this is all just for fun. This is just a conspiracy theory. This theory suggests that instead of an apocalypse, we collectively slipped into this 7-minute brain echo. And this right here, right now, is our dream. This is us reliving our memories. And little time glitches, little weird things like the Mandela effects, or like deja vu, or feeling like the world is off, those are just cracks in the memory trying to keep itself stitched together. So this theory is saying that that would mean that the world did end and we just haven't accepted it yet. Do you think we're 7 minutes into the afterlife? You can come over here for longer freaky videos.
I've heard of this theory and it is an interesting one, but I do not believe it. I just do not have faith in myself to think that I can create enough imagination to come up with everything that I'm doing right now, including what I just watched, meaning that I also theorized that we all died in 2012 and we're experiencing this. I'm just not that capable. And what about you guys watching? Like, you guys are watching me. I'm not imagining you watching me. That's just not how it works. Maybe I am that creative.
Anunnaki shit, part infinity. So check this. How do I know that we're actually at war with the Anunnaki? I could tell you exactly why. Because about 10 years, no, maybe 12 years ago now, I could tell that there were things shifting in the atmosphere. People were starting to see through the veil. I was starting to see through the veil. I could see straight through the veil into other people. I could see people changing their personality, changing almost demonic-like. And I'll give you one example. My ex-girlfriend definitely was some sort of reptilian or demon or something, because when she would get pissed, which was every day, she would turn into like, she had this like Buffy the Vampire style slash, I don't know, vampire change to her face. Her entire face would change, okay? It would look like she was turning into a vampire. Evil, like real hard skin lines, and just have an overall vampiric look like she was just going to eat my soul. So I can tell you, first-hand experience, we're definitely at war with the Anunnaki. Those fireballs in the sky definitely are coming down, and people are seeing this stuff on their television now, saying that this is just the beginning, and this is all just a made-up story. You guys, have fun with this. Don't believe everything that's put out on the internet, all right? Peace out. Lockdown Universe.
He almost had me there for a second, but yeah, that's almost exactly how I feel with this as well. You know, just take it in understand what's going on and be prepared, I guess. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a little bit of fun with it as well. Honestly, I think that's why there is people out there that react to this content, because it is fun. It's super interesting learning about Anunnaki and the theories about what could be the fireballs coming from the sky. What is that? Is that Anunnaki parts falling off of their ship, or is that they're just crash landing into the earth? And I'm sure you guys know me, I really take things at a super realistic approach, and honestly, that's probably just space debris, or someone just caught a meteor and that video has gone so viral and there's really not that many things falling out of the sky. We're just seeing the same thing falling out of the sky from different angles. All of the things makes this all really fun to me as the person that's watching this stuff and creating this video. And then when I see content creators like this where they're talking about it and it seems serious, but it seems like a joke at the same time, and they're just letting you know, hey, this is a joke. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, you don't have to do it all the time, but that's just my take on it all. Random video, did not expect it to pop up like that, but I understand it. Let me know what you guys think.
We just had 3 adult-sized sharks wash up on a beach in the Hamptons with no visual injuries, and they're all dead. Not to mention, we're recording temperatures by anomaly of plus 12 degrees Celsius in some locations. This heat is breaking records all over the earth, but think in terms of frequency. You get it? Come back to all that. So all this led me down a rabbit hole of looking through these trends and temperature changes. And I found that something massive takes place every time we have a massive shift in direction. So remember that meteorologists were warning this year of not being able to track these hurricanes or tell when they're coming as much because things happening in the government. So they say, right? And they also say it's going to be a very bad hurricane season. Are you aware of the Great Hurricane of 1780 that killed like 22 to 28,000 people? So great and so massive, the death tolls are double our worst hurricanes ever in United States history. So back to these temperature change charts, and there's a whole bunch that you can look at. They didn't start recording the temperature till the 1800s, but if you take all the charts together and look at them, you see that there's definite patterns in these maps. This right here is more of a guesstimate, but you can see that in the 1780s, when there was a great hurricane, the biggest hurricane to exist on record, that it was in a shift of temperature. Hurricane Fifi, I think 12,000 deaths. When we had the shift of temperature right here. All of these massive hurricanes come with a shift in temperature. Now look where we are right now. Here is where the shift would be, but it did shift still, but it shifted higher into more heat, which has created the environment for the most massive hurricane we've ever seen. If you acknowledge that things work in patterns, if you acknowledge the trends, which is how they're able to calculate what years are going to be bad, and acknowledge all the anomalies we're seeing around the earth, and also acknowledge the signs, all the doomsday fish, thousands of doomsday fish coming up at the bottom, which was a once-in-a-lifetime scenario. Birds falling from the sky, fish washing ashore, 3 sharks washing ashore. Average temperatures in Spain and Portugal in the 110s, even 115. Anomalies at plus 12 degrees Celsius, things we've never even seen before. Massive fires all over the earth, massive floods all over the earth, massive cataclysms every day somewhere. It is definitely time for another great hurricane. And it may just be this year. People need to open their eyes when things like this right here happen, because it's a warning of the conditions of this earth, again, by frequency. There's frequencies everywhere. Alaska, United States, East Coast, everywhere.
I bet this guy got skipped so hard like a jump scare. Honestly, sometimes when I watch this guy, it's super entertaining. It kind of reminds me of like the movies where you see a guy holding the sign and he's running around the street saying the end times are coming, the end times are coming. This is exactly that, just in modern day. I'm pretty certain last year he was saying the same thing. It's been a while since I had a Moon Henry video on the channel, so I thought I would add it in here. I'm sorry for your time, but I got a good kick out of it. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching these clips with me today, and with that being said, have a good day.